Tiffintin.org presents itself as an investment or financial opportunity platform. The website attempts to look modern and trustworthy, using typical financial vocabulary such as capital growth, trading access, professional management, and secure transactions. However, once we move beyond the visual layer and begin checking verifiable facts, the structure becomes deeply questionable. The first issue is positioning. It is not immediately clear whether Tiffintin operates as a broker, an investment platform, a crypto service, or something else entirely. This ambiguity is not a minor detail. Legitimate financial institutions clearly define their regulatory status, product type, and supervising authority. When a platform remains vague about its exact legal nature, that alone increases risk. Brief summary: Tiffintin.org appears to offer investment-related services and possibly trading access. It presents itself in a professional tone, but does not provide verifiable proof of regulation in major financial jurisdictions. Checks through official public registers do not confirm a clearly identifiable license connected to the domain. There is no transparent legal entity with confirmed supervisory oversight publicly tied to the platform. Based on verifiable information, the project operates in a regulatory gray zone, which creates elevated financial risk for users. General information overview. Project name: Tiffintin. Website: https://tiffintin.org. Project type: investment platform or broker, not clearly defined. Regulation: not confirmed in major official databases. License: not publicly verifiable. Minimum deposit: not transparently disclosed within a regulated framework. Leverage: not clearly specified. Domain registration: publicly available. WOA's information indicates recent registration with privacy-protected ownership. Registrar and DNS infrastructure: standard domain services, likely using hosting protections such as Cloudflare. License and regulation verification is the central question. A legitimate broker or investment company must appear in official supervisory databases. Verification through these official registers does not confirm the presence of a license connected to Tiffintin.org. The legally accurate statement is clear. Checks in official public registries do not confirm a valid regulatory authorization. That does not automatically prove fraud, but it does mean there is no independently verified supervision tied to this domain. This distinction is critical. A licensed broker must segregate client funds, meet capital requirements, submit to audits, and provide structured dispute resolution mechanisms. An unlicensed broker or investment platform has no such obligations under recognized financial law. Without confirmed oversight, investor protection mechanisms cannot be assumed. The services section of Tiffintin appears to describe investment opportunities or trading-related services. However, key disclosures are missing. There is no clearly verifiable legal entity name linked to an official registry. There is no published license number tied to a supervisory authority. There is no easily identifiable compensation scheme coverage. There is no transparent explanation of how client funds are stored, whether they are segregated, or under which jurisdiction disputes are governed. If leveraged trading or derivative products such as CFDs are involved, risk increases further. CFDs are complex instruments that carry high risk of rapid loss due to leverage. In regulated environments, leverage for retail traders is strictly limited and accompanied by mandatory risk disclosures. If a platform offers access to such instruments without clearly referencing a regulator, the structural risk is substantial. Another risk factor is conflict of interest. If the platform acts as counterparty to client trades or controls pricing internally, it can profit from client losses. In regulated markets, this practice is supervised and disclosed. Without regulatory oversight, there is no independent authority verifying order execution, price feeds, or liquidity arrangements. HOIS and technical analysis provide additional context. The Tiffintin.org domain appears to be relatively new and uses privacy protection for ownership information. While privacy protection itself is not illegal, Established financial institutions typically disclose their legal entity openly and link it to corporate registries. The absence of transparent ownership information combined with the absence of regulatory confirmation reduces overall credibility. The name itself also raises caution. Legitimate financial institutions typically use professional, institutionally structured branding that aligns with regulatory filings and corporate documentation. Names that appear random, abstract, or disconnected from recognized financial groups often appear in serial unlicensed broker networks. While the name alone does not prove misconduct, it fits a pattern frequently observed in high-risk investment platforms. Legal transparency is minimal. A legitimate broker must clearly disclose its registered company name, registration number, jurisdiction, and governing law. It must provide a binding client agreement referencing enforceable legal structures. In the case of Tiffintin, there is no clearly verifiable top-tier regulator publicly tied to the domain. There is no confirmed investor compensation scheme. There is no transparent disclosure of how client funds are protected. Common structural risk indicators include absence of confirmed license in official registers, absence of identifiable regulator, lack of transparent corporate information, no confirmed investor protection framework, elevated risk if leveraged products are involved, and potential withdrawal issues due to absence of enforceable oversight. How to avoid similar scams. Always verify a broker's or investment platform's license directly through official regulator databases, not through website claims or badges. If a company claims to operate internationally, check FCA, SISEC, ASIC, SEC, or FINRA databases, and ensure the domain name matches the regulator's listing exactly. Be cautious with platforms that do not clearly define their legal structure. Ambiguity is not professionalism. Avoid platforms that promise consistent profits, automated returns, or low-risk trading without explaining regulatory supervision. Never trust certificates from unknown websites. Real financial regulation is always verifiable through government-run portals. Be wary of aggressive communication from account managers encouraging quick deposits or additional funding. Pressure tactics and guaranteed outcomes are common red flags in investment scam structures. Pay attention to design patterns. Template-style layouts, generic financial language, and vague service descriptions often appear in serial, unlicensed broker networks. Based on publicly verifiable information, Tiffintin.org cannot be considered a confirmed licensed broker or regulated investment platform. Checks through official supervisory registers do not confirm a valid regulatory authorization attached to the domain. The absence of transparent regulatory backing creates elevated risk for investors and increases the probability of financial loss without formal recourse. Our experts recommend refraining from any financial interaction with this project. In finance, if regulation is missing, protection is missing.